All right, what's happening, everyone? I'm back real quick with a podcast to talk about the WNBA playoffs, the semifinals specifically, as the Aces took a 2-1 series lead against the Indiana Fever. Meanwhile, in the other matchup, we got the Phoenix Mercury and the Minnesota Lynx in a pivotal Game 3 with the series tied 1-1. And the Phoenix Mercury got the job done and took a 2-1 lead. But obviously, aside from the win for them, the topic of discussion is the end of the game. They were down, I believe it was 4 points. And, the Lynx get the ball back. Alyssa Thomas for the Mercury gets the steal and the layup, which kind of shuts the door on anything for the Lynx there to come back and win that game. But then the coach goes nuts. And then, Nafisa Collier is injured, and it was just a whole lot. Here's how the play went down. You guys watch it, and then we'll talk about it a little bit. All right. Well, y'all get the hint there. So, Coach Reeve was pretty pissed off, pretty angry. I think also for her, if you watch it closely, I think it really hurt her even more when she saw that Collier was on the ground. Here's the actual slow-mo. You can see so the steal there, and then there's the ankle roll. Now, the controversy is, was it a foul? Was it not a foul? If you're asking me, honestly, at first sight, I think it's clean. Look at this. The steal is, at that point, she smacks the ball away. And now I do think the ball's already way out of her hand. And this is, again, I get it if you are for saying this is a foul because she ran through her to get the ball. But honestly, in my opinion, it's a quick play. I think it's clean, and I think it's just unfortunate that Nafisa gets her ankle rolled over, and gets injured. Again, she beats her to the ball, and then you could even make the case that Nafisa ran into her when she's chasing after the ball. Now, again, it just really depends. I get it. It's one of those ticky-tack calls. It could go either way. If this was called a foul, I think the Mercury would have been complaining like crazy, and the Lynx fans would have been all on board. And if it was called a foul, I probably would have said, look at it. It is a foul. There is contact made after. It's just so close that it can go either way. But obviously the news is that, Nafisa Collier, I'm doing this pod on Saturday evening, and she's already been ruled out for tomorrow, Sunday's game. So she is out, and it just really stinks because the Lynx are now, you'd want to see these teams at full strength go at it. It's been a great series so far. And now, unfortunately, the Lynx are going to be without their best player who, yes, she struggled in the second half, but she's a leader for them, and she is their best player regardless of her struggles in that second half. And so that's really disappointing. And now they're going to be, so then after the game, this is what Coach Cheryl Reeve had to say. And this is what eventually led to her getting suspended for Game 4. All right. So she's not happy. This essentially leads to her getting a fine and a suspension. And I think on top of this, obviously, she yelled some profanities at the Phoenix fans, which I would say that's actually the biggest reason for the suspension. This is raw emotion after a press conference, and you're calling out the WNBA leadership, which I think you should have every right to do if you want to, speak your mind and complain. But I also think the W as a league, I mean, she's criticizing them essentially for not calling the game well enough, for it being one-sided. I mean, she said that Collier, didn't have any free throws, but also that she had 5 fouls, which either she's saying that they're calling it only in one way, but technically she was kind of complaining about I think she opens up by saying, let me hear this. When you let the physicality happen. So it wasn't necessarily then they let the physicality happen if Nafisa had 5 fouls. You know what I'm saying? So they were calling fouls. I think she's just more so saying you guys weren't calling fouls for our team. And she maybe has a point there. But again, it's fine to call out the leadership. And I think it's fine for the leadership to come down and suspend her if she was yelling profanities at the fans. And I mean, I was watching this live, and when I was watching it live, all I was thinking was with the coaches, I was like, I hope they're just telling her like, hey, we got another game. We'll get them next game, like to calm her down. Like, we need you for next game. But of course, it sucks with it being a semifinals game 4. I think if there's a regular season game, for sure you suspend her. But maybe what the W should have done is given her like a 5-game suspension, but it applies to the regular season next year. I don't know if that could happen, how that works, but it does suck that now she's not there on the sideline with her team. Nafisa Collier is out, and it just really, really stinks for a really good series that now looks like game 4 is right there for Phoenix to take control of and get to the finals. So we'll see how it goes. Again, I really enjoyed these WNBA playoffs. And then, like I said, we got an exciting game 4 in Indiana where the Fever are trying to, they took game 1 in Vegas against the Aces. They've dropped the next 2, and now they're at home for a game 4, trying to force a game 5, which would be super exciting if there is a game 5. Game 5s would be great for both series. So we'll see how this plays out. But this was ultimately the big news that came out of that. And, just real quick before I leave, to go back onto the court, I just want to say Alyssa Thomas, the way she plays the game, man, she's everywhere. She grabs every rebound. She's practically the Mercury's point guard. Her defense is, she plays good defense. And, so shout outs to her. Shout out to Courtney Williams for the Lynx yesterday, keeping them going. She had a great, great game. Anytime it looked like the Phoenix Mercury were going to run away with it, she would make a big shot. And, so great series, man. I hope that, if this goes game 5, at least that the coach will be back for game 5, and hopefully there's a chance that Nafisa Collier can come back because she is incredible as well. So, all right, well, that's all we'll do with the WNBA for now, but we'll keep our eye on it as the finals approach. It's been a really fun playoff so far, and I hope you guys enjoyed it too.